Our first and most northern response came from Tim Model and Mike Howell, both foresters who manage 2,000 or 2,100 acres in Mendocino County. And they've been dealing with sudden oak death for several years, removing diseased and dead trees. Tim had his personal accounting here, which I thought was interesting and slightly entertaining. When the Forest Service flyover found dead trees, we went to the sites with a sort of laissez-faire attitude, and we found a few dead trees. No big deal. A few months later, we went out there, and it was amazing how fast it had spread. Nobody knew what this stuff could do, but it's definitely not something you can ignore. In the areas where we haven't been managing it, sod is quickly moving up the drainages. We work on a lot of other properties around the county, and there's not a place where we haven't seen sod in the last few years. A second accounting came out of Sonoma County from Brandon O'Neill with California State Parks, and it's the Russian River District. He said, "We're watching and hearing trees fall like you wouldn't believe, mostly on ridgetop settings. In some places there are so many trees stacked on the ground it looks like a feller buncher's been in there. The amount of biomass that's on the forest floor is jaw-dropping. We've also had a lot of wind this year, which has added to the tree failures. It's mostly tan oak that's really been hammered. It's costing us a lot of money. The volume of hazard trees is going way up, and there are multiple examples of roads and trails that used to exist but are now unusable because of downed tan oaks." This one came from Matthew Ventura, a tree service company owner in Sonoma County. And this is a summer camp cabin in Occidental. And the tan oak had failed on top of the cabin, obviously destroying it. Fortunately, the summer camp had ended several weeks earlier, so nobody was hurt. But this camp is dealing with 200 acres of dead and dying tan oak. And then we heard from Janet Klein from the Marin Municipal Water District, who said that in 2005 and 2006, approximately 5,700 acres of the water district land were found with some degree of canopy die-off. And it's estimated that those numbers are a lot larger at this point. They're doing a survey of it this summer, but we don't have any details at this time. She believes that there are upwards of 12,000 susceptible acres, or 64%, of the Tamalpais watershed that's susceptible to one degree or another to sudden oak death. And disease progression has resulted in extensive canopy openings, a buildup of fuels on the ground, and significant difficulty in maintaining road and trail access. Over the last 5 years, the district has increased their spending on contract services for hazard tree removals by 42%. And tree clearing is now a regular part of ranger duties in the area. And finally, our last report came in from Carrie Frangioso out of Dave Rizzo's lab, and this was all encompassing the Monterey County area. The slide above is from 2007, and the one below is from 2009. And this is a common site in the Big Sur area where park districts were able to at one point maintain many hiking trails and so forth, and now they're really struggling to do so in these forests that are no longer so healthy. And this area right here is Mill Creek Preserve, part of the Monterey Peninsula Regional Parks District. This is before and after the 2008 Basin Complex fire. And Carrie wanted to point out here that what this fire pointed out is that the stage of infection for sudden oak death dictates how the fire is going to burn, or fire severity. So standing dead trees with their leaves obviously are going to result in a higher fire severity, whereas if you have the pathogen that's been present for a long time, you have a lot of dead trees that are already on the ground. They found that the soil substrate layer was more severely burned. And this is the last picture. This is of a pure stand of tan oak that has succumbed to the pathogen, obviously greatly opening up the forest canopy and creating a lot of debris down on the forest floor.